I'm creeped out by my best friend's relationship, as the age gap is so big and they started dating only days after his 18th birthday, so I think it's time I step in and say something. I want to start by saying that I don't think age gap relationships are inherently creepy, weird, or anything negative. I'm talking about a specific situation that I'm about to explain. My friend, Dave, 23 meters, has been dating his girlfriend, Molly, 30 feet, for nearly 6 years now. They became official 2 days after Dave's 18th birthday but had been seeing each other for much longer than that. Their parents have been friends forever, so the first time they met, Molly was 6 and Dave was a newborn. But that's not the creepy part. According to both of them, Molly has had a crush on Dave since he was in middle school, and if you do the math, you'll find she was between the ages of 17 and 20 at that time. She used to blatantly flirt with him when he was still in school, compliment him, get jealous if a girl his age tried to interact with him, and tell him how she couldn't wait for him to turn 18 and marry her. Maybe she was joking at the time? They are not married or engaged yet, but it seems like they are going strong, so she meant it. If that's not weird enough, they don't look their age. She looks much older, and he barely looks legal, to the point they have been mistaken for mother and son more than once. While he refers to her as a woman, she refers to him as a kid. For example, my boyfriend is a good kid. Now, I might be reading too much into it, and they are both adults now, so no one can tell them anything. But to me, it feels like she's into younger people. Dave is really easy to influence, and it seems like she prepared him until it became legal. I'm sure he's starting to realize I'm feeling more and more creeped out by his relationship. I don't know if I can act like I find this normal, but I also don't think it's my place to tell him. Should I say something to him? Relevant comments. You wouldn't be wrong to say something, but don't expect a good reception. If he's happy and they have family acceptance, he's not going to take your comments well, even though you're right. You could ask if the age gap bothers him and see if you can work your way in that way, but going right in and saying she's predatory will not go well. Update 1. So in the end I didn't do or say anything, someone else did. I need to say their families don't know about the weird part as it happened when the parents were not present. However, Dave's sister, Jem, 22 feet, knows and she is very sensitive to this topic. She was that girl in school who developed early and had comments made by both our classmates and grown adults. Jem was never too happy about her brother's relationship. She even tried to make their parents reason about this, but they never believed her. Other than some passive-aggressive comments towards Molly now and then, she never said anything, until she did. Jem knows I agree with her for what concerns their backstory, so she immediately told me when this happened. She was with Dave and Molly and they were talking about relationships and intimate stuff when Molly joked about how disappointed she was the first time she got to bed with Dave, which, as you can imagine, happened the moment he was legal, because he was different compared to what she had been imagining for years prior. Jem didn't keep her mouth shut and pointed out that what she was saying was that she was more attracted to a prepubertal boy than to a fully developed man, which is creepy. Both Molly and Dave downplayed it. She said that she never did anything with a child, because it would have been illegal. That's why she waited years before doing anything. To say this sent a chill down my spine would be an understatement. But it's not over. Later Jem had a conversation with Dave about predators. She explained what it means and made some very specific examples. Dave disagreed because, according to this logic, Molly would be one too, which Jem confirmed. Dave didn't reply, but she could tell by his expression that he was thinking about it, so he might be starting to connect the dots. I don't know how this is going to evolve. Dave is very codependent, so I doubt he will break up over this, but I think he deserves to understand the truth whether he wants to stay in that relationship or not. Update 2. I followed some of the advice I received on my past posts. I decided to say something with the help of Dave's sister. So I told him the story of a girl I know who was exploited by an older person, except it was actually his story with some changed details. He was disgusted by this story and agreed it sounded predatory, so I revealed the truth and pointed out it's what happened to him. He tried to defend Molly, saying it was a different situation, so Jem bluntly told him she's sure Molly is indeed a predator. This shook him, but he was not convinced, so he decided to confront Molly about it. She told him me and Jem were just jealous and manipulative. She tried to play the victim, but when he asked her to look him in the eye and tell him she never had desires involving a young version of him, she couldn't. She started crying and confessed what Jem assumed. She said she feels horrible about it and she never acted on it. She even begged him to stay with her or she might end up actually doing something illegal and immoral she doesn't want to do. He asked for a break and suggested she gets professional help regardless of how it will end between them. He still cares for her despite what she did. He doesn't think she's a bad person and it's not her fault if she has a problem as long as she doesn't hurt any child. I only partially agree. She didn't choose to be attracted to children, but she chose to groom a child for years, but it's not my place to judge. Thankfully, breaks never end well, so here's to hoping this is over. Thank you everyone. Relevant comments. She can't say she's never acted on it when she did, in fact, act on it by using him. The fact that she also said she would do something to another if she's not with him is insane. She might not have chosen to be attracted to children, but she sure as hell chose to wait years for your friend instead of going and getting help.